Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be discussing with you guys the S&P action today, specifically the price action on the SPY, and we're going to be discussing the top moving stocks up and down today and what I think is going to be taking place for tomorrow. So let's just hop into this. Hey guys, it's Casey and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be discussing with you guys the SPY, which is the S&P ETF. We're going to be discussing today's price action with the overall total stock market, and we're going to be discussing the top stocks that were moving today, that move the markets, and what to look for tomorrow. So let's just hop into this. So if we take a look at the SPY, I already have it up on the screen. I have the trading pattern that the SPY has been trading in right now. The market has been in this trading pattern for well over a month, I would say now, or at least about that. And it's bounced off this 324 level. I should say the 323 level. It's bounced down to 300. And then here we are. Then just today, it has finally broken through that level. Now, this means a couple of things. One, if this were a typical stock, what would happen is that this is obviously a retest of that high. And it will either reverse tomorrow or it will have a continuation pattern. Now, you don't know which one that the market makers are going to do tomorrow because it's really all dependent on what tomorrow's price action is going to be pre-market. So they could do a number of things. They could gap it up in the morning and then sell it off. They could gap it down and run it up. They could open it up a little bit lower, run it up. There's so many different ways to, to do this. But the overall trend is still bullish. It has still broken that pattern of the resistance. And we're looking like we want we're looking like we want to get back to the original all-time highs at 339. Now, what moved the markets today? Well, if you guys take a look at my watch list over here, there really was only a few things that, well, let's just say there really were only a few things that truly moved the markets. And for the major stock moves for today was NEO, at least I should say on my watch list, was NEO. This was more of a rebound pattern for me. As you guys know, NEO is a electric car manufacturing company overseas. They are now publicly traded, and they had a nice little bounce off of its 20-day moving average, which was to be expected. That was a bounce play. Tesla. Take a look at Tesla today. That is not it. Let's try this again. Take a look at Tesla today. As I stated in my yesterday video, as I told you guys, I told you that this stock was going to pop again in the next day or so. You know when it popped? It popped the very next day. I made a few $100s off the stock today. Not a lot. I didn't want to go in very large, but it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. So when I saw it pull off, when I saw it bounce off the initial 23.6 retracement, I knew immediately that it was going to have another continuation. And I knew that because it was starting to flag and it didn't pull back hard. You know, this extremely high run up, which is a ridiculous run, the breakthrough 1000 went completely bonkers parabolic, and all it did was come back to its original 23.6% pullback. And so I knew at this point in a high probability that this was going to have a bounce in the next day or so. That's exactly what happened. I am looking for a continuation tomorrow because this is a stock that's in play. So I anticipate Tesla gapping up in the morning, and then I anticipate likely what's going to happen is we're going to get another pop in the morning, and that's kind of what's going to take place with that. So looking forward to it. I think that's going to be an awesome thing. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Sorry, I'm just actually taking a look at my Tesla positions right now. Okay, cool. So we have that. Now, if we go back to the overall direction of the market, excuse me, right now, literally, we're just in this breakout phase. That's it. As you guys know, I focus highly on the daily chart a lot more than I do the intraday, because although, you know, if you're going to day trade, then yes, you want to focus on the intraday. But I use the daily to give me clear indications of where I want my levels to be at. And so I anticipate tomorrow is going to be a continuation of today. For all intents and purposes, I think we're going to go back to this 339 level. At this point, if you guys remember back here, all hell was going to break loose. This is Armageddon, where we're going to have martial law. Things were just insane, right? we're all going to die from the COVID-19 virus. All of a sudden, it magically just kind of slowly subsides, all the deaths, all the layoffs, all the bad earnings, and yet the stock market goes, we don't care. Every Friday, awful unemployment, stock market pops. Every Friday, bad unemployment, stock market pops. Every Friday, stock market pops. It makes no sense. Layoffs, firings, deaths, who cares? Stock market pops. Absolutely ridiculous. It went completely counter trend to everything that was in the news. All of the awful news. And so here we are right now, and we're on the cusp of another of the second stimulus package for Americans. I can't possibly see the stock pulling back now. We have not yet hit the elections for September yet, and right now, guys, this is just a pure political play right now. The the earnings are out of the window still. The technical analysis, for the most part, are kind of out of the window, because if they were, we'd have a hell of a lot bigger pullback than we've had. At this point, we really are just going to be in a very wait and see until the powers that be decide to finally pull the rug on this market and fear enters in the market. Now, I did take a look at CNN today, and the fear and greed index is at 66, which means that we are in the greed phase, but we're not in the overextended greed phase, right? So the S&P hasn't gone parabolic yet. I think we're going to hit this 339. Hell, we might even go further than that. But we are going to have a pullback. I think it's going to happen after the elections. But for right now, just because this is really a no man's land for me personally, we're way off the lows. We were looking at this 50% retracement level. We popped through that. We're looking at this resistance level. We've popped through that. At this point, from a day trading aspect, I wouldn't hold anything overnight. I would just purely day trade it and be done with it. And so tomorrow, what I'm looking for is a pop. All right, and I'm going to be looking to purchase something off of the, if I can get the 22 200 5-minute, I'm going to purchase this. I don't know if I'm going to get it. If we have a sell-off in the morning, which happens a lot when the stock moves up, right? So what market makers like to do is they like to dump the stock first thing in the morning, right out of the gate. They just dump it, and then they rip it up. That's almost always classic patterns for market makers. They did it here. They did it here. They do it almost every morning when it's gonna be a big green day. And so tomorrow, if we have a sell-off, particularly if it comes down to this 322 level, I will be buying for hopefully a rebound back up to the 325 level. That's about it, guys. I don't have too much further to talk to you guys about, because at this point, this is just a pure momentum play. The trend is still in an upward pattern. As you guys can see, it's broken a resistance level, and at this point, we're just waiting, right? So, until we get some type of additional volatility into the market, until the S&P goes parabolic, I'll be looking to short, or until it has a pullback to the $300 level, the 302 points basis level. I don't know if there's really much more to do at this point. Not a lot of action, not a lot of volatility in the markets. It's just a slow grind up until, of course, they decide to pull the rug. And I'm really waiting on that, to be honest with you. I'm looking at the stocks every single day, and really a lot of this is I'm day trading, making a few $100 a day, something like that. Nothing ridiculous. What I'm really hoping to do is to get another sell-off. And the market makers know that, the institutions know that, and that's why it's not selling off right now. When it does finally sell off, I am really hoping to get these, get back down to these 302 level. At this point, we've had a virus that spread through the entire world. We've had multiple outbreaks. We've had depression level unemployment. We've had ridiculous level layoffs. We've had awful bank earnings. We've had awful earnings across the board as of last quarter. Facebook, all these companies, and nobody cared in the stock market. I mean, it was the most opposite, mind-boggling thing I've ever heard. They threw all technicals out the window. Nothing mattered. You could not have looked at a chart. You couldn't have looked at a pullback. You couldn't have looked at an earnings. You couldn't have played any news. You couldn't have been told that aliens were coming in from outer space. Nothing mattered. The stock market just kept going up and up and up and up and up. And right now, at this point, what possible news could they come out with that could make the stock market crash at this point? Nothing. Literally nothing, right? I mean, outside of them saying that they're not going to pass a second stimulus package here in the next couple of days, and people are going to be unemployed, and I don't know what can make the market fall at this point. They're going to find something in the next week or two. Well, I should say the next month or two. They'll start the fear campaign again sometime around September after the elections is what I think they're going to do. But just understand, guys, that this market is stupid manipulated. It's manipulated like beyond normal manipulation. And so if you are going to trade this, make sure that you're trading with your smart position sizes. You're not going in too large. Excuse me, because you don't want to get caught. They could always pull the rug at any time. But I think that this market is not going to crash until Donald Trump gets reelected or doesn't, or goes through the election period and he doesn't get reelected. But other than that, make sure you guys start trading safe. And yeah, I appreciate you following the commentary. And if you haven't already, please make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you later. Take care.